G'day, Finroo here, how you doing? So I've finally got the grains together for the Yorkshire bitter, which I'm calling Partington beer. Finally decided to stop. How you doing anyway? And welcome along, Homebrew Wednesday number 25. So just checking his notes, 25 here, pretty sure it is. So finally said to myself, it's time to stop. Time to stop procrastinating and start brewing. You can only think these things over so many times until you realise that you're going around in circles. So this is the recipe that I've come up with. So what do we got? We've got three, and it's very, very, very close to my Panic Attack beer, which is my pale ale. Which is kind of a good thing, but I just went round and round and round and over different recipes and read about water profiles. I read about different yeasts, possible yeasts. I tried some Yorkshire bitters, and at the end of the day, and I got some great advice from subscribers, home brewers, and people from that part of England, Yorkshire. And I came up with sort of a mind's eye thought on what the beer I would imagine it tastes like, and I'm trying to brew it like that rather than, because all the recipes seem to be all different. So anyway, I've had a gutsful thinking about it. So what I've come up with for the Yorkshire bitter is 3.5 kg of like Marisotta, but it's pale malt. English style, 350 grams of medium crystal, 200 grams of wheat malt, 100 grams of brown, and 75 grams of light chocolate. And the light chocolate, I hummed and hard whether or not I needed it, whether it was, once again, I went round and round and round, and I decided to put it in. Been a few people saying that the Yorkshire bitters that they have had a very, very slight hint of chocolate. So that's what I've come up with. Why did I use the brown? Well, because I'm familiar with brown, and I couldn't find it. There were no recipes with brown malt that I saw, but there was always talk about a slightly drying finish to the drink, a drying finish to the Yorkshire bitter. So I know brown malt, and I know that it does add that to your beer. Wheat malt, 200 grams for sort of head retention and mouthfeel. Torrefied wheat is quite common. I couldn't get any of that. Medium malt, yeah, so I went with medium malt, and I'm going to medium crystal malt, and I'm going to see how that goes. So I'm going to end up with a 4.5% beer. Yeast, I've decided to go with a yeast that's reasonably clean. Although I like the Nottingham yeasts, and the brown ale had a great, you could really taste the Nottingham yeast influence on the beer. With the Yorkshire bitters that I tried, I couldn't really taste that there was a yeast presence going on as far as it influencing the flavour of the beer, if that makes sense. I know that I like the cleanness from the SO4 and SO5. I like that it's not really ester driven, if you like. It's not really up there with different flavours and presenting to the beer. There's nothing wrong with that. As I say, the brown ale with Nottingham yeast was fabulous, and I could really taste that. And I, thought, do I really want to have that yeast influence in the beer? Decided that I didn't. 2 packs of SO5. I'm just at the moment just preparing a starter, just with a litre of water and 100 grams of light spray malt. So a little bit of nutrient, but it's still a little bit warm. I'll have to wait for that to before I pitch the yeast. So I have a starter going by the morning. I was thinking about having a little bit looking at the water profile of England in particular, with as far as chalk goes. very, very high in chalk, calcium chloride. So there was a few talking. We were talking a wee bit about that, and this is. And so I thought, I'm just thinking to myself now. I still haven't decided. There's a lot of issues there, which I may talk about. You're trying to add chalk to water; it won't dissolve. But I've been sort of thinking about talking to Jared today, and just reading a bit that you can actually dissolve chalk in acidic water or solution, and so it'll dissolve. Chalk will dissolve in vinegar, which is really acidic, as you know, but it won't dissolve in water. But if you've got a mash of 5.2, putting it into the mash may just be enough to dissolve some of it. So that's I haven't decided. I will let you know how I get on with that. What I've got here is Monty Python's. No, it's Black Sheep's Monty Python Holy Grail beer. This is probably not a good example of a Yorkshire bitter per se, but it is made in Yorkshire by Black Sheep Brewery, and but it's more of an ESB, so it comes in at, what did I say? It was 4.7%. So I'm using this glass here purely because I want to have a good look at the colour. So let's have a wee look. Yeah, it's very pale. As I say, this may not be a really good example of an actual Yorkshire bitter, but it's made in Yorkshire. It's got quite a nice straw golden colour. Highly carbonated. So let's just have a wee smell. What I'm looking for, and I'm going to do the 90-minute boil and a 90-minute mash. I'm looking for that, trying to create that that toffee flavour with the malt by having a slightly longer boil. So I'm going to do 90 minutes. And okay, I can taste that. I can smell that straight away. It's got that toffee, as the other Yorkshire bitters had. So obviously that's a key note to Yorkshire bitters. That slight toffee. Well, it's certainly there on the aroma. Let's just have a wee taste. Oh yeah. Okay. Okay, so so here's what I'm getting from it. I'm getting, for a start, as I said before about that, why I put the brown malt in. So I'm definitely getting a very, very dry finish on that. Very dry. And I'm getting less of the toffee malt than I expected, but it is there for sure, which is a good thing. So I'm hoping I'm going to get that from the 90-minute boil. It's very nice. It does have a bitterness to it, a lingering dry bitterness to it. The bitterness will be obviously coming from the hops. The bulk maker that I had the other week was very, very nice. As is this, but two very different beers, both coming out of Yorkshire. So there we go. It's quite nice, that. Prefer the bulk maker, but British pale ale with a fresh, zesty taste and a long, crisp, bitter finish. Goes beautifully with spam, albatross, or battered herrings. Monty Python. So hopefully this will be cooled down enough in about an hour, and I'll be able to get that yeast starter up and running. It's got a new cork and it's a bit not too big, but it's just wants to pop out all the time. as the actress said to the bishop. Oh. So there we have it. So that's right. Tomorrow is going to be brew day. The Yorkshire bitter, the Partington beer. Nothing else to report. That's about it. I'm spent for the day, so I'm going to go and hit the hay early today and have a good sleep so I can wake up tomorrow and make a half decent job of this beer. So please, if you're keen, like and subscribe, and welcome to my channel if you want to stick around. So cheers, you guys. You take care.